We're taught that we should give, that we should share and prioritize generosity over our personal interests. But someone warns us about the dangers of being too kind, too compassionate. We live in a world where we don't always get what we give. A world full of generous people who drain both their finances and their energy through indiscriminate giving. If this is your first time on my channel, I ask you to please support me by subscribing and liking this video. That way I can continue to create more content like this in the future. But could excessive generosity even put our own lives at risk? Prepare to be shocked by the unexpected dark side of kindness, because today I'm revealing the 8 things that happen when you're too nice, and I'll introduce you to 4 Stoic strategies to stop others from taking advantage of you. Without further delay, let's begin. You will have unrealistic expectations of people. The Stoics emphasize the need to accept circumstances as they are and not base our happiness on others' actions. By giving without expecting much in return, you avoid disappointment and practice emotional detachment, which leads to greater peace of mind. Imagine this: you strive to be generous and kind, giving your best to others without expecting anything. But soon you catch yourself waiting, hoping for people to respond the same way. And when they don't, you're left frustrated. The root? Expectations. You assume others will mirror your generosity, but they don't. And instead of appreciation, you find yourself feeling used. Stoicism reminds us, you can't control what others do, only your actions and your reactions. True power is in giving without attachment, not because people deserve it, but because it aligns with your character. That's where peace begins. Number 2, people will only expect you to give. The practice of moderation, so valued by the Stoics, becomes an anchor in a sea of endless demands. Instead of giving in to the limitless requests of others, Stoicism urges us to balance our generosity. By giving in a balanced way, we maintain control over our actions and avoid falling into patterns that wear down our emotional well-being. People often adapt to situations and environments that feel comfortable. This human tendency is where the concept of the comfort zone is born. If we constantly take on others' responsibilities, we're allowing them to remain in their comfort zones. They don't feel the need to grow or face challenges because they know we'll always be there to cover for them. The problem isn't just for them, it's for us too. By taking on others' responsibilities, we neglect our own needs and priorities. We find ourselves trapped in a cycle of giving without receiving, which drains our energy and undermines our emotional well-being. Practicing moderation and giving in a balanced way allows you to maintain control over your actions and avoid falling into habits that drain your emotional health. If you get used to giving all the time, the beneficiaries of your generosity will expect you to give them something all the time. It's important to give, but it's also crucial to maintain balance. By setting clear boundaries and practicing generosity in a balanced way, we not only preserve our own peace and well-being, but also encourage others to take responsibility for themselves and grow as individuals. In this delicate balance, we find true generosity, one that nurtures others as well as ourselves. Number 3, your priorities will be trampled. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living according to reason and virtue. Setting boundaries and prioritizing our own responsibilities is essential to maintaining balance and avoiding sacrificing our authenticity and well-being for others. If you're giving everything for other people's priorities, you might find yourself running from something within you that causes pain and fear. The emotions that arise in those moments of solitude can be overwhelming. The feeling of emptiness, the deafening silence, and the longing for connection can generate deep emotional discomfort. It's in those moments that we often seek refuge in other people's needs. We immerse ourselves in serving others as a way to fill the void we feel inside. The cost of this constant giving is high. You lose yourself in the process. Your inner voice is drowned by external demands, And sooner or later, when you face the stillness of your own being, the pain and fear you've been trying to avoid emerge with renewed force. It's essential to recognize that attending to our own needs and priorities is not selfish. It's a form of self-care and preservation of our authenticity. The Stoics teach us that setting boundaries and living according to our own virtues is not only an act of self-love, but also a path toward an authentic and meaningful life. Next time you feel the temptation to escape from yourself by constantly serving others, stop for a moment. Acknowledge those uncomfortable emotions that arise in solitude and embrace them with compassion. Allow yourself to be authentic in your desires and needs. Set healthy boundaries and learn to say no when necessary. You'll find that by honoring your own authenticity, not only will you grow internally, but you'll also be able to offer genuine and balanced generosity to others from a place of fullness and authenticity. Number 4, you will be seen as weak and treated as such. Yes, helping others can earn you respect, but too much help without limits does the opposite. When you never say no, people stop respecting your time. They don't see strength, they see weakness. And once they label you as someone who always helps, you become their solution, not their equal. But here's what happens when you start setting boundaries. People take notice. You're no longer someone they can exploit. You're someone who values yourself, someone who says, enough. Stoicism isn't about isolation. It's about self-respect. And nothing earns more respect than someone who knows when to walk away. Number 5, you will have many ifs. People will only come to you when they need something. When you become someone who is willing to help unconditionally, it's natural that those around you begin to notice. However, this attention can have a dark side. The people who once considered you a good friend might start excluding you from fun social activities, reserving your presence only for when they need something. This behavior pattern may seem ruthless, but from a pragmatic perspective, it's not so surprising. People rarely invite their employees or collaborators to share leisure moments. It's more common for those invitations to go to close friends, family, or those with genuine and balanced relationships. This change in how you're treated can be disconcerting and in many ways unfair. You find yourself in a position where you give freely, only to feel excluded when it comes to joyful and relaxed moments. This selective treatment can hurt and provoke feelings of disappointment and betrayal. However, from the Stoic perspective, this kind of behavior is a fire test for your discernment. It challenges you to recognize who truly values your friendship and appreciation and who is simply taking advantage of your generosity. It's important to remember that Stoicism doesn't advocate becoming cynical or distrustful, but cultivating a deep understanding of human nature. Through discernment, you can choose to help those who truly need it and who will genuinely value your support. By doing so, you not only protect your own energy and resources, but also surround yourself with people who appreciate you for who you are, not just for what you can give them. Ultimately, this challenge offers you the opportunity to practice Stoic self-discipline. You can choose to set clear boundaries and decide how you want to spend your energy and time. By keeping your generosity balanced and focused on those who truly value your help, you can live according to Stoic principles and find peace and satisfaction amid the complexities of human relationships. Number 6, you will attract only those in need and never those willing to give. According to the Stoics, our actions and thoughts emit energy that attracts people with similar frequencies. When we cultivate a positive emotional state, we radiate high vibrations that attract equally positive individuals, generous, enthusiastic, and genuine people. However, when we give indiscriminately and exhaust ourselves emotionally and physically in the process, our energy weakens. We begin to vibrate at a lower frequency, which attracts needy people to us. These people, far from being authentic and willing to give in mutual relationships, come to us only to satisfy their own needs. Additionally, this lower frequency also attracts opportunists, individuals who have no intention or means to help, but who see in us an easy source to get what they want. The key, according to Stoic philosophy, lies in discernment and self-discipline. We must learn to recognize when we are overgiving and draining our own energies. This means setting clear boundaries and practicing moderation in our generosity. By doing so, we keep our vibrations high and attract people who value our authenticity and are willing to contribute reciprocally in the relationship. By being aware of our energy and practicing balanced generosity, we can cultivate authentic and mutually beneficial relationships. These relationships are based on reciprocity, respect, and genuine mutual appreciation, instead of one-sided exploitation. Ultimately, this allows us to live in alignment with Stoic principles and experience true human connection based on honesty and integrity. Number 7, you might fall into addiction. When the Stoics warn us about the possibility of falling into addiction, they are reminding us that moderation and self-control are essential for maintaining a balanced and healthy life. In the context of generosity, practicing self-discipline protects us from falling into addictive patterns that may arise when we feel constantly drained and needy due to our overextension. When we live according to Stoic principles, we recognize that generosity must be in balance. Giving without measure and without limits can deplete our emotional and physical reserves, leading us to seek relief in addictive forms like excessive eating, drinking, or gaming. Stoic philosophy teaches us to pay attention to the warning signs that come to us through the people close to us. If someone you trust points out that you're turning too often to certain behaviors, we must take those observations seriously. It's natural that our first reaction is denial, especially when we are trapped in the cycle of a budding addiction. However, these concerns come from a genuine place of care and love for us. Accepting those observations with humility and gratitude is a crucial step towards self-awareness and personal growth. By doing so, we're practicing Stoic philosophy in action, applying the principles of moderation and self-control to avoid falling into addictive traps that can undermine our health and well-being. Always remember that those who care about us do so with the intention of helping us overcome challenges and move toward a fuller and more meaningful life. By taking their observations seriously, we are showing deep consideration for our own well-being and a genuine commitment to our personal growth and long-term happiness. Number 8, you will awaken suspicion. Stoicism encourages us to act virtuously regardless of how others may perceive us. By focusing on living in harmony with our principles and values, we build a genuine reputation that is resistant to unfounded suspicions. Although we would like things to be different, the truth is that genuinely kind people are not abundant in this world. Therefore, if you are one of them, you will awaken suspicion instead of admiration and gratitude. It won't be long after showing your kindness for people to start wondering what's going on with you and what hidden intentions you have that you're not revealing to anyone. Does this mean you found a group of distrustful people? Not necessarily, but it's more likely they're being realistic. Most overly enthusiastic people tend to hide intentions so twisted that it's best to stay away from them and reject the help they want to offer. Let's look at the strategies to stop people from using you. Strategy number 1, listen to your feelings. They're speaking to you. Based on the Stoic idea of self-awareness, pay attention to your emotions and feelings. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-reflection to understand your reactions and needs. By listening to your feelings, you can identify if you're overgiving and becoming emotionally drained, which allows you to adjust your approach and find a healthy balance. How do you feel when you help others? Thinking about yourself and prioritizing them is such an altruistic act that practicing it should make you feel like you're walking on clouds. So if you feel overwhelmed, drained, angry, or used, it's time to pay attention to your feelings. If something you're not obligated to do causes you that much discomfort, you must not lie to yourself. Instead, discover how the help you're giving is affecting your well-being. Strategy number 2, lose the fear of the word no. Following Stoic teachings, recognize that your time and energy are valuable and must be allocated consciously and in balance. Saying no in situations where you feel overwhelmed or when the request is unfair is a way of exercising self-control. Although the word no is associated with negativity and pessimism, it's normal to struggle to say it. However, that very negativity is what will become your life if you don't develop the skill to say this word when someone demands more than you can give. Practice in front of a mirror and convince yourself that it's the only way to reclaim your freedom and avoid unnecessary and potential risks. Strategy number 3, there is a time and space for you. Respect them. Following the Stoic principles of self-discipline and self-respect, it's essential to carve out time and space to care for yourself. Do what you enjoy, practice yoga, draw, listen to music while sipping tea, whatever motivates you. Finish your obligations as early as possible so you can practice. This is something you must take very seriously as scheduling that time daily or weekly. Therefore, if someone asks you for help during that time, they must be very respectful and cooperative with you, not with the situation. Then without guilt, tell them no and enjoy that time and space just for you. If you don't want to be that blunt, you can offer your help for another time, but always make it clear that your availability will be limited because you have a life to attend to. Strategy number 4, identify energy vampires and stay away from them. Following Stoic principles of self-discipline and discernment, it's important to recognize which relationships benefit you and which ones may emotionally drain you. By distancing yourself from people who constantly deplete your energy and don't contribute positively, you are taking care of your own well-being and applying Stoic self-control in your relationships. If you try to help an energy vampire, you should know it won't work. These people overwhelm you with complaints, pains, and their catastrophic view of life. Forget about helping them. They don't want to solve their problems, because that would mean they have to stop complaining, and that's something they wouldn't tolerate. In conclusion, according to Stoic wisdom, in life, the best measure for things is always the middle point, and generosity is no exception. If we give too little, we seem selfish and greedy. But if we give too much, we end up completely drained of energy, time, and probably money too. So lean toward the gray areas. They remain the preferred tones when it comes to finding a balance between prioritizing others and ourselves. And when in doubt, always remember the magic word, no, especially if someone's offering to drive you home from the car window. If you enjoyed our video, like the video, subscribe, and comment so YouTube knows this type of video helps people like you, and we can continue creating more videos like this in the future.